Today I finally get around to doing the HBD's cooling system. Well, better get the wagon started and move it out and bring the HBD in. Alrighty then, let's get into it. So here we have my 2001 Holden VX Commodore in the famous Shanghai Red. It's a factory HBD. From what the tag says, it has 16-inch mags and a body kit. Front splitter is missing, but I don't like the front splitter anyway. Picked this and I got it up for $900 with Mansfield. It was a family farm car, so there was a lot of mud underneath it. Like, if you saw the wheels, there was like 2 or 3 inches worth of mud, so pretty bad. I've done some things here and there, but I'll go into detail at a later time. When I first picked it up, I was driving down the street and I noticed that the temperature gauge wasn't actually working. Thought it was a faulty temperature gauge. No, turns out it's quite possible it doesn't have a thermostat, or it's stuck wide open because driving along, it doesn't gain any engine temp. So I've been down to Repco. I've picked myself up a thermostat and some coolant, and well, yeah, let's get into it. This won't take long. Alright, let's remove this pesky engine cover, shall we? To be honest, I was surprised it even had one, given the fact that usually 99% of Commodores don't have one. But I was surprised it was there. Reasonably clean underneath. Well, somewhat. Alright then. Probably should drain the water out of this pig. Probably a good idea. Won't have to go up terribly high, just enough that I can get underneath and pop a screwdriver in. Watch as that becomes a tripping hazard. Oh boy, all those fancy Clamps that would kill you if you got it wrong. Alrighty then. Got that clamp. Let's see how dirty we can get shut. Now, I don't think this car's ever had its coolant changed, so I think it's pretty grotty in there. I already did a few set of bushings on this thing at some point. Hopefully I can get to this clamp without making a huge ass mess. I'm dropping coolant in my eyes. That would not be fun. And I knew that would happen. So I put pressure on the clamp, and at this point I don't have one of those fancy tools to actually, you know, bring it back down. Now, this radiator doesn't actually have what you would call a petcock or a drain plug, so you got to get creative, especially when they put those spring style clamps down there in a spot where it's really not that accessible. Just bear with me for a moment. Alright, that took a little bit longer than needed to, but we got it. Positioned somewhat crappy drain plug, drain bucket. And oh yeah, this one actually come off without having to put a set of grips on it. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Delicious. We'll bring you in a little bit closer, shall we? Yeah. Once that's done draining, we'll get a bit of a clip and you can see just how dirty it really is. Pretty sure these thermostat bolts are a 13 or a 14. Have to find out. They are indeed, I'm pretty sure, a 13. Yeah, that's a 13. You can somewhat tell that these have definitely not been off in a while. So it might take a bit of persuasion to get them off. Good news is I have plenty of time. I don't think this has ever been changed. I don't see. The problem is I'm not entirely sure if there is an actual thermostat in there or it's just stuck open, because the thing never gains any temp. So that'll be today's mission, to see if it's actually got a thermostat in it or not. So guess we'll see in a moment. Alright then, it's time to see if it's in there or it's stuck. Oh, it's in there. Oh, well, yeah, there you go. I shouldn't be able to actually push that down by myself. So, compared to, say, a new one that hasn't been used, I shouldn't actually be able to, yeah, see, I can't actually open that myself. Alright then, well, we'll grab a razor blade out and we'll give the housing a clean. Then we'll get the Y wheel out and we'll give that a Y wheel as well. Get the razor blade out. Actually pretty clean to somewhat start with. Oh yeah, that's because most of it's up on the thermostat housing. Nice scrape. And actually, to be perfectly honest, there was no gasket in here. So someone's obviously removed the thermostat and gone, oh fuck, why bother putting a thermostat housing, or sorry, a gasket back on. So we'll just smash this with the wire wheel and give it a bit of a clean and try not to get shit in there. Now it's important to note, when you're using one of these, minimal pressure as massive as possible, because this is aluminum, so you can put little tiny divots in it and that'll cause it not to want to seal properly. So nice and easy. Right, and we'll get a bit of sandpaper. Actually, we'll give the thermostat housing a bit of a go real quick, even though it looks pretty clean. And we'll get some sandpaper, just to rough it up a little bit. Surface, and we'll give this a nice sand. Alright then, we'll get our gasket and we'll get our thermostat and we'll pop that straight in. Alright, so we've got our thermostat and our new gasket, so we'll plop that right in. Stick that right over. Now it's important to line up the holes. Now this gasket actually has, as you can see, two holes, one small, one big, and on the thermostat housing itself, on the block, there's a little hole, so you want to line up the smallest one with that hole. And you want to make sure you get this as straight as possible. yourself any leaks. Now at the moment I won't be putting the coolant in straight away, because as I've realised that this cooling system is going to have to be cleaned out and flushed. So for the time being, thermostat's got to go in. I've got to go down and get some radiator flush. You can give it a nice clean out. We'll just freshly wind those in. Make sure the gasket's still lit up and lined up at one side. Alright then. Let's button this up and put some coolant in it. Put some water in it for the time being. Alright then. Let's give those bolts and final tighten up. Now, there's no reason to massively over tighten these, because you don't want to squish the gasket too much, or actually won't seal at all. So just a nice snug. Yeah. So yeah, I won't be putting coolant in it for the time being. I'll actually put some radiator flush in it when I get next time I get the chance to. Why waste perfectly good coolant and mix it with crappy water? Probably should have thought of that in the first place, but you know, that's what it is. Alright, that's nice and snug. Let's get the bottom radiator hose done up. Now I'm wondering if I actually have a proper hose clamp, because I hate using those tension style ones. No, I don't. Alright, I'm going to have to stick with the hose clamp that could literally slice your throat. So, alright. Let's get our torch out. Slide this puppy back on. Get the killer clamp. I always find these so fun to use, these clamps. That's on. Alright, let's put some water in it, shall we? Let's see if there's any leaks. You definitely do not want that. Always good to have some water handy. This might take a little bit. Alright then, let's grab a screwdriver, bust open the bleed nipple, and get ready to start it up and leave the cooling system. These are not too terrible to do, but they are, from what I heard, apparently a bit of a crappy design. That bleed nipple's open. keep filling her up. Alright. We'll kick this in the guts and yeah, bleed it up. Alright, I'll get back to you once this warms up. Alright, now we're just gonna close the bleed tap, put the radiator cap back on, and wait for it to go through a heat cycle. Give this cap a bit of a clean, shall we? Kinda needs it. Now we just play the waiting game and wait for it to go through its heat cycle. And it's time to see if it's up to operating temp. The thermo fan's just kicked on, so by the sounds of it, it's gone through its heat cycle. Yep, that's where it should be. Alright, let's check for leaks, shall we? See if we've got any leaks. I'd hate if we did. Let's have a look. Alright, let's have a look. Don't see anything up there. Nah, nothing down there. That seems dry. Alright then, let's wrap this up, shall we? Alright then, a bit of a recap. So we've drained the water out of the system, removed the thermostat to find that indeed it was in there, but the problem is that it was very pliable, so I was actually able to push it in and out, which you shouldn't be able to do, which means that once the system gained pressure, minimal pressure mind you, it would actually just keep flowing through and not actually allow the engine to actually gain proper temp. So we've cleaned the gasket surfaces, reinstalled a brand new thermostat, an 82 degree one, I'm pretty sure it is. Bled the system, gone through a heat cycle and checked it for leaks, and doesn't seem to be any leaks. So that went off pretty easy. That'll do it for today's video. In the near future I will go get some radiator flush and actually flush the system properly, because it doesn't look like it's been flushed, because the coolant, well, yeah, it's not exactly coolant. So that I'll put a photo of that up on our Facebook page. So yeah, that'll do it for today. Make sure to check out our Facebook page and our TikTok. Make sure to subscribe, and yeah, I'm slowly learning how to do this. I'm new to it, and I'm sure I'll get better over time with your help and comments. And I'm sure I'll get better at this. Anyway, so that'll do it for today, and I'll see you in the next one.